Big Tommy Burns here with Beast of the Bay Strength and the Strongman Club. And today on the Chat with Champions, we have my man, the myth, the legend, the raw bench press world record holder, my man, Julius Maddox, today.
What's up? What's up? In this process of me becoming who I am today, early on, I knew there was something special about me. I knew from a young age that I had this gift of strength, and I just didn't know how to channel it. I channeled my strengths in the wrong areas, and it really took me and put me in a bad place and took me down the wrong road. Of course, getting into trouble, heavily into addiction and drug use. I spiraled out of control for years at a time. And, things started to change once, I got locked up and I was facing prison time. And, in that, being separated from my daughter at the time, she was just about to turn 1. I realized that, life is just going to keep getting worse if I continue down that path. Mm-hmm. So I ended up getting to go to a Christ-centered recovery program. And that's where two things happened. One, I learned how to be a man. And two, I picked up weightlifting and started to explore the weightlifting world. And in the beginning, I just did it because I battled with depression because I used drugs for so long that I didn't know how to handle life situations due to my drug use. But once I found that weightlifting gave me, a clarity, and the feeling of me lifting weights superseded that of what it was like using drugs. I found a love for something that I never knew I had. Even though I lifted weights, I hated lifting weights through high school just because I had formed this hate relationship with it because the coaches wouldn't allow me to lift in high school. They only wanted me to lift minimal weight because I played basketball. So they were like, you're way too strong and you overpower the basketball. So though I was very talented and athletic, me lifting weights at a young age, I was just getting strong too fast, like extremely strong. Mm-hmm. And so in high school, I played football, and because, the chip on my shoulder and the arrogance, I walked off the football field. But that was my ticket out. And due to, it was all my fault. But I used any excuse I could to be able to do whatever I wanted to do. But anyway, I walked off the football field my senior year, and having colleges come look at me for football and come talk to me about committing to their school and all these things, I still didn't see the future. I couldn't, all I thought was about the moment. But that happened, and I spiraled out of control from, the time I graduated high school until the age of 26, whenever I went to jail. And like I said, entering in that place, my life was totally different. It was just, I had a new perspective in life. And, like I said, it was just, it was just something that I've always wanted. And that was just peace in life. And I didn't really experience peace until the age of 27. And I was basically homeless. I didn't have any money. My kids were en route to be growing up without a father because of the actions and choices that I've made. And like I said, in 2013, my life radically changed. So that was kind of the pre powerlifting movement was in 2013.
Years ago, I never thought anybody would hit a 700-pound bench press. And then somebody hit it, right? Then we over 700 pounds. So now we have just a few people in the world who had ever hit a 700-pound bench press. But now we fast forward to this time, and you start talking about this 800-pound bench press. And I remember writing this post, and I tried to articulate it as best as I could. that was equivalent to a couple of different things. Roger Bannister, back in the day, breaking the 4-minute mile. I talked about that and how many people attempted that, right? But also how many people actually died and passed away trying to attempt such a feat. And then once it was broken, many people started to break it. Over at this time, there were 1,400 people that's broken the 4-minute mile from that time when it was first broken up until now. Eddie Hall in strongman, hitting that 500-kilo deadlift, something that hadn't been done in decades, was another one of those feats of strength that kind of raised the bar on human potential. If you look at strongman today, there's a max deadlift event almost every single time, and it's way up there compared to what it even was 5 years ago when people was barely, hitting. When 700-pound deadlift was, that was the like, oh man, that's a lot of weight. We think about when Ronnie Coleman a decade ago deadlifting 800 pounds on YouTube. That was like the thing. That's kind of like common now in strongman. When you're talking about going for an 800-pound deadlift, a bench press rather, what responses, this is the first question of these series of questions, what responses are you getting from people, and the magnitude of that as far as human potential? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, when I first started this campaign of Road to 800, man, there were so many people telling me I was crazy. I mean, they were like, no one will ever hit 800 pounds. You'll never hit 800 pounds. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. It's mind blowing how many comments. In fact, I went back recently. I went back on my YouTube just to look at some of the old comments, and people started deleting their comments because I would spend time arguing with people, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but I would spend time going back and forth about the world record and all this stuff. This is whenever I still had some bit of a childish mindset, just to be honest. And I wouldn't go into hate or anything, but I would kind of defend, why I believe I'm going to break this world record and potentially take it further. And, man, what I've learned is just allow the platform to speak. Man, once I started to block out the negatives and the naysayers and started allowing my bench press to speak for itself, it started shutting people up.
Yep.
I turned non-believers into believers.
Yep.
And that's another thing is you don't have to spend all this time and energy on this negativity, like you were saying, arguing with people, when if you believe something and you know it with all your soul, then go after it, go get it, and let that speak for itself. So I just quit giving all this energy off to these people and quit allowing them to take my time, and just started, outperforming myself, because at the end of the day, they're not my competition. My biggest competition is me and this war that I got going on in my head. That is the biggest competition. Even whenever I was competing against Carell and Eric Spoto's record, they wasn't my competition. My competition was getting over these mental obstacle courses that I had in my head to prove to myself that you are the man. Yes. Julius, you are the man.
Yes.
You didn't come this far. You didn't beat addiction. You didn't beat a prison sentence. You didn't beat surviving just to be average. You're not average. And I had to talk myself through these things because I'm not an average individual. I'm different. And once I really believed that and wrapped my mind around it, man, I get cold chills thinking about it. It's like, I'm like a train. You can put anything in front of a train and the train is going to plow through it. And that's that mental obstacle course that I had to get over was believing and manifesting that. I know this may sound far-fetched or crazy, but I am a superhuman. I believe it.
Is that what an irregular philosophy?
Man, yeah. So, just going deeper, just think about it. The human body has the ability to be able to do some extraordinary things. You know what I mean? Like just the body. Just put it this way. And I know we're getting, I'm going a little far out there, but I just get excited talking about the anatomy and what the body is able to do. I mean, when you get a cut, your body tries to heal itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when your adrenaline is pumping, and you've seen videos of people doing extraordinary things, ripping doors off of cars, lifting car. I seen a video the other day of 2 people lifting a car up off of a person that was trapped underneath of a car. The guy was working on a car. The lifts gave out. The car fell on top of the guy, and these 2 guys lifted this car up and pulled this guy out from underneath this car. And if you would have asked those guys, they would have told you they don't work out. They don't lift weights. The point I'm trying to make is we set limitations on ourselves. And I was done allowing people to set limitations on my life. And I was done allowing myself to set those limitations because of what I believed others had on my life. So it goes deeper than that. Every strength athlete will tell you they had to tap into a place that they've never tapped into before to overcome that strength, whether Eddie Hall, Bill Kazmaier, Ed Cohn, all the greats. They will tell you that there's something in here that you have to tap into to get what you want out of life. And I finally broke through that barrier. I was just thinking this last night in the gym that it's crazy because my strength is I still have untapped potential. I'm still not even operating at 100% yet. And I truly believe that. So you heard it here first.
Brick by brick. That's the only way to get there. From the starting line to the finish line. And no one gets there alone. I need your help to build the road to 800. Brick by brick. Believe in the impossible. Join me on Patreon.